Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. Sorry I couldn't make it last week. I had some things come up and I lost track of time. But in recompense, it appears as though I have to do it by myself tonight. So to start things off, we're going to be doing a little bit more one-on-one with you guys that are in the side chat. Jamie's going to be a little bit behind, but he'll be here shortly. Chico's a little bit behind. We've got a guest coming on, but Jamie has the contact information. I don't. I haven't heard from Kyle yet, but once I do, we will hook up with him. But so, how's everybody doing this lovely evening? We've got a pretty full chat here already with thoughts of an old soldier. Daniel got as my judge, Vanessa Kitty, and William C. Chapin out there with a date with Dirty Tina. Cranky Cletus, glad to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Texas Outlaw Michael Signs. I didn't know that you had changed your name to a more full pronunciation. Cool. Got Snack Pack Tin Man out there. Who else we got doing their thing? Gun Loving Grandpa, glad to see you, brother. And Jeremy Gunslinger and Kingpin. So how's everybody's week? I know mine was a little bit long. It felt long. It was I think it was like Tuesday, and I accidentally thought it was Thursday. So I got some last minute things for the Dillon 450 press I bought, even though I think I got the wrong powder through die. So my funnel doesn't work. I had to improvise something, but it's working pretty good so far. I'm going to get some more caliber conversions for it. I got to load up getting ready for this July 5th thing. I'm going to try to get – I've got probably too much that I'm wanting to take, so I'm trying to pare that down. Anybody in chat planning on going? What are you guys going to be bringing? Yeah, Cletus is saying that his felt pretty long as well. Yeah, Tim, man, it's just me for a minute. So this is an interesting chat. I've never done this one where I'm just kind of talking to you guys, and the delay is going to make it a little bit interesting. Vanessa Kitty says that 44 mag is her first and most favorite cartridge. Some of the most accurate shooting I've ever done with a handgun's with a 44 mag. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I think 357 is probably my favorite just because it's just so versatile. It's so many different things you can do with it. Taco and French fries, glad to see you. I'm glad it is the weekend as well, brother. I've been looking forward to it, so it was nice to get off. Fuzzy Fork. Listen to Eddie Rabbit. Interesting. I don't think I know Eddie Rabbit. Sorry, Chris. I hope that's not on my side. I got some buffering issues. I've had some internet slowdowns lately, so I hope it's not me. Yeah, tacos. I think I can. I can usually listen to myself babble for a while. Crazy Scotsman, how's it going, man? Gonna go to Target, huh? My local Target started putting crap in the middle of the aisles, and it's really got me ticked off. I actually wrote them and stuff about it, like that angry old man. A 38 Smith & Wesson. Yeah, my dad has two. One that I bought, which is an old H&R, and one that was a Smith. And loading for it's kind of a pain because to get the right bullet weight, you can't really use a standard 38 type mold. They're a little bit different diameter, I think, in the way that the bullet is shaped. It needs a lot of weight in the nose so that you're not pushing stuff out into the cartridge and reducing case capacity. I don't know that much about it. That's about all I know is it's a little bit funky. Dad's got a couple of them. He really likes it. I think it's a pretty good target shooting round as well. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I love a rainy night. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I got you. I am doing pretty well, man. I'm Scotsman. I'm glad that it's the weekend. Oh, the 100-yard target. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. I hope the 100-yard target isn't target because that would be confusing and possibly criminal. A remake of The Birds, huh? I like the original. I don't know as if I've ever seen a remake of a Hitchcock movie that I liked. I know they did that remake of Psycho with that sleepy looking dude. I didn't care for it. Um, I don't know. Hey, Kenny, how's it going, brother? I was glad you could jump on last week and kind of cover for my me not being able to make it. Yeah, it's a little bit different of a round. Old soldier. Like I said, I unfortunately I don't know a ton about it. I've just shot it a couple times, and well, I bought one for him, but I never shot it. Oh, tread, no power, huh? Yikes! It's like camping out, only not voluntary. I got a new subscriber here with the Mag Max Gus. Glad to see you, man. Glad you can make it. Edward Petty. Every time I see your name, man, I think of Kyle and the whole Petty family. I know you probably get that a ton, and it's probably pretty annoying, but every time I see that, I get all excited, like, hey, I got somebody from the Petty family watching my channel. Oh boy. Yeah, I've been listening to like Fuzzy. I've been listening to like a lot of kind of older, kind of old 50s rock, pre British invasion rock lately. I've been enjoying that a lot. And some of the stuff that kind of sounds like that afterwards. Oh, I don't know, Jeremy. If they close down Hangouts, we'll just figure out what's next. I really couldn't tell you, man. I like to use YouTube for live streams. So whatever it is that YouTube integrates with is most likely what we'll go with. Or maybe we'll just use YouTube in general. Because I think there is an ability to be able to live stream just on YouTube without Hangouts. I don't know. But Chris says it's he hears thunder now. Yeah, it was raining pretty hard here yesterday. Loaded Cap Gun, glad to see you. It started raining last night and got pretty heavy there at times, but what else we got? Yeah, Tread. I've done a little bit of that. As far as hooking up generators and stuff, it's been quite a while, so I'm not one of those experts in the field at all. The only thing I know is that if you're going to backfeed, you need to shut the main off so that you don't end up frying the guy on the pole. But I don't know if there's a. I mean, I guess there's a way that you can backfeed back through to specific circuits so that you can shut certain things off and not try to run everything all at once and all that crap. Yeah, it fuzz. That's what I'm talking about. That's that H&R. I think it's a 5-shot 38 Smith and Wesson. Yeah, we got a mold from NOE for that. That was really really nice, and I think that's what he's been using. But the cylinders on the H&R are pretty large, and I don't want to say wrong, but I want to think it's like 361 or 362. It's pretty big. So trying to get a bullet big enough to seal the cylinder up a little bit so that it doesn't gas cut and lead is a bit tricky. Now, Dad doesn't prescribe to PC yet, so he's still using like LLA with mineral spirits. That concoction. I don't know, a little bit of something else in there, but the PC would definitely be able to get the size up to you, whatever it is that you need. Mountaineer Marksman, glad to see you. Fuzz is my hero as well. He cuts a lot of the middleman out, and that's a good idea. Oh, Michael got a star, man. I've looked at him a million times, but I haven't pulled it. I haven't got one yet. Okay, will do, Fuzz. Yeah, I've looked at those stars a lot, and I like the looks of them. And I don't think I own a 9mm handgun. I bought Cap Gun one for Christmas, and she loves it. So I've been kind of considering what was going to be my 9mm handgun, and I don't know. I haven't made up my mind whether it's going to be a Beretta or the Star or find a 1911 and 9mm. Yeah, Ocean. They kind of did. It's this is punishment for not being here last week. I dropped out on them last week, kind of the last minute. I think it was around 7 or so. I sent a message saying I wasn't going to be able to make it. So in recompense this week, I've got to do this by myself. So they all got a night off because I got a night off. Actually, that's not true. Jamie's just running a little bit behind. He's got a family stuff he's taking care of. Chico's a little bit behind. I haven't heard from Kyle yet. I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah. So everybody's going to be on a little bit later. We've got Andy 79 Z28 supposed to. Hey, there you are, brother. He's going to be on here in a little bit as soon as Jamie gets started because I don't have his contact info. But hey, Andy, glad he found us. Sorry, it was a little bit confusing there. Yeah, Chris, that's what she's got as a CZ75, and I don't remember the designator on it, but it's a nice handgun. I've shot it, and it's just a kitten. That real high center or axis on it is really nice. I haven't spent a lot of time with it to figure out how it shoots, to really figure out how it shoots, and to work up a load with it. We just kind of went with something that was pretty bog standard. I think it was a tight group load, and I got a bunch of them loaded up. So the next time that we go, Cap Gun can just shoot until her wrists hurt. Julio, yeah. Every time I say that, it reminds me of I think it was the Mighty Ducks, Emilio. I don't know. Every time I see Julio, I think of Emilio for some reason. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's asleep or if he's at work or if he's with Angel or what all he's got going on. I haven't heard from him yet. Oh, interesting. Yeah, those old Lyman Seiko pots are pretty decent. I bet my little Lyman mini mag gets hot enough for zinc, but you'd have to only run it like an inch or two high. At a full pot, it cools off somewhat, but when it gets about an inch and a half high, it gets screaming hot. Mighty Ducks, the wing. I don't remember much about that movie. I think I saw it a couple times when I was a teenager. I think my brother liked it a lot. He's a little bit younger than me. Yeah, Chris, I watch on my. It's funny because we chat on the computer and everything else, but I use a tablet for the chat. So sometimes I'm not looking at you guys, and I'm sitting here with my head down, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I wish I could. I have a clamp to be able to put my tablet on my screen so that I can continue to look at you, but my eyesight isn't good enough to be able to read the chat then because the chat window is pretty small. If I could do away with the picture and just watch the chat, then it would be fine. But I don't know how to do that. Cold brew coffee. Huh. Fair enough. Curtis says he's shooting a Super Black Hawk Hunter. My Black Hawk is a big Black Hawk, my 41 mag, but it's not a Super Black Hawk, and it doesn't have that goofy trigger guard on there that busts your knuckle, or that you have to get the crazy fill grip for, and then it feels like your hand's at a weird spot. So that's why I gravitated to just a straight up Black Hawk, but I can't really tell much of a difference with the size of the gun. It's just huge. Fair enough. Scotsman's going to I think he's going to be reaching out to our brother Kyle here. Oh, Eagle Eye. I'll take a look. Hold on. Maybe. There we go. Eagle Eye got his first 44 mag. Let's take a look and see what we got here. It's okay. All right. Yep. So it's a Super Blackhawk, scoped, stainless. Not a big fan of those Packmeyers, but I understand. I've always had problems with the Packmeyer grips. I've always had better accuracy with standard wood grips, but I think that's just my taste or whatever. Then again, on the Smith and Wesson style revolvers, my parents, my dad and my mom both used Packmeyer grips on them, and we found that accuracy even for them increased pretty dramatically. Not dramatically, but a fair amount when they removed those Packmeyers, because they tended to move around a bit. They weren't very stable in the hand because of the width of it from the back strap to the front strap is pretty long, and then the width of the actual grip is pretty narrow. So it put them in a situation where the gun could rock in your hand even though it didn't feel like it. So when we went to wood, it made a pretty big difference for them. I think I just heard somebody on the chat. There's Jamie. JH586 has shown up.
What's going on, brother?
Not much. I told them that this was recompense for me not having to, or me not being here last night. I had to do this one by myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Me and the side chat have been talking, and Eagle got a 44. Beautiful Super Blackhawk. We talked a little bit about 38 Smith and Wesson. Andy's in the side chat. Lots of stuff going on, man. 429, 421. That's a standard. Zinc, though, that's not standard. That's non-standard.
Well, I bring you greetings from the city of Pigeon Forge in Sevier County, Tennessee.
I hear it's beautiful there.
Okay. I hope it is. Man, we were you ever noticed when you get ready to go somewhere how frantic everything gets?
Sometimes. Yes, sir.
Sometimes. It seems like the toughest part. And if y'all hear all the laughter and cutting up in the background, I'm here with my mom and dad and my sister and brother-in-law and my wife. So we got a little mini family reunion thing going on up here, and I'm gonna see if I can get some better light on the subject. Nathan, if you look in the group chat, there's a link to our guest. If you can send him a link.
Okay, let me see if I can figure that out. I'm no good at this.
Let me see if I can.
Jamie sent me a message.
It's on the group chat. It's on the Hangouts, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to use it. It's just for whatever reason, me and okay, I see it. Here we go. Oh, whoa. That thing just opened up 18 things. None of them of which were what I was wanting it to open up.
All you want to do is share. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. I'm working on unfamiliar.
I think I got her out there, Jamie. Okay. Daniel, I turned my mic down just a little bit, just in case, Hopefully it's not too low, but hopefully I'm not spooking the groundhogs too much. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. Smart guns. No, I'm good without that. I think I need my guns to just be just as dumb as I am. Um, uh, Kenny, I think a lot of Rugers that didn't have transfer bars were sent back to Ruger for transfer bars because they did the upgrade free. In fact, a lot of times when you buy a new Ruger, it'll have in the manual, "Do you have this kind of gun?" And they'll still take older Rugers back and put transfer bars in them. So sometimes they've been retrofitted.
So what were we saying about 38 special? I meant 38 Smith and Wesson.
Just I think I don't remember. Somebody was asking. I think it was Daniel was asking about 38 Smith and Wesson, whether or not I had ever dealt with one, and my dad has two. I don't have one personally, but they're just a kind of an interesting little round.
It's kind of like 44 Schofield, a little bit shorter than a 38 special.
It's a lot shorter than a 38 special. It's a lot shorter, and it takes a pretty heavy bullet too. It's kind of an odd cartridge, low and slow, kind of thing.
Well, buddy, I need to apologize to everybody that's out there and to you for leaving you hanging. I didn't intend to.
Oh man, no worries.
When you go on a trip, you sometimes things get a little sideways. Hold on, let me. I'm in my mom and dad's room.
Well, that should be the quietest room in the house, right?
Yeah, they got. There's a Scotsman, big man outdoors.
And we got Chico joining us.
Yeah, Chico said he'd be late, but he'd be here.
Yeah, things are starting to round out, everybody. I can start being quiet and get everything else going. Andy, if you didn't get your invite, let me know in chat, and I can try that again. There's the Uncle Jim. Yeah, one-on-one for quite a while, buddy. I hope you're doing well, Jim. I haven't been keeping up with everybody's videos, but I've seen you posted a couple, and I think I've missed the last one or two. I got to go back and watch, but I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. We had I'm looking forward to seeing Kenny out there shooting that thing. I mean, granted, I'm not looking forward to him showing me up, shooting 2 inches or whatever at 300 yards with it, but I'll just complain because it's scoped. So I've got it. It already came with an excuse on it.
Guys, I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries, man. Willie Bullet Man, nice to see you, brother. Glad you could come out. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, 158 grain. Yeah, that's a pretty big bullet for that small of a case, for darn sure. And then there's also the what to make 38 Smith and Wesson cases out of. If you try to cut down 38 special cases, a lot of times the webbing in the case is so thick that it actually reduces case capacity quite a bit and can make some overpressures. This is stuff that I haven't messed with, but Dad has, and I've talked with him through a lot of it. And he actually identified certain 38 special cases that were thinner or were capable of having very close to the same case capacity as standard 38 Smith & Wesson cases. So anything like that, man, it can be a little bit tricky when you're loading for it. Just shot a 5-round one hole group. Yeah. It's scoped though, so yeah. That's good shooting, man. I want to take a look at that. Also, I didn't know Willie was going to see it, man. That's awesome. No, that's your gun. I don't. Yeah. Nope, that's yours.
Yeah, there's certain things a man don't let even his best friend borrow.
Yeah, and I don't borrow them from other people usually, right? So I'm one of those people that when you're at the range, it's one thing, but
Your gun, yeah, but your guns, your wife, and your motorcycle would be the top three on my list.
yeah,
Not necessarily in that order.
Okay,
No.
I made it.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm here, I guess.
Yes, sir. Well, we're glad to have you, man. I'm glad you could join us. Sorry, we're running a little bit late. How things going with you?
So far, so good. It's a long day every day. I get up at 6 in the morning, get home at 8, so it's tough.
I can imagine those sound like some pretty long days. Is a lot of commute time, or do you just put in a lot of hours?
2 jobs. Takes a lot. Takes its toll.
I can imagine, brother. I've been there, but not in a couple years. I probably should be, to be honest with you, but
All right, hold on a minute. What is this stuff that Texas Outlaw Michael signed?
I think Michael extended the.
Do we have a name change in our channel, Michael?
I think he's just changing it to his full name, right? 67 Rebel SST IMC. Glad to see you. Jesse B Outdoors. I hope you're doing well.
Well, I think that sounds like a wrestler, and he needs me to be his manager.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There you go. Well, I've got the wrestling ring right next door. So if you want to practice, you just come right on over here and you get to work. One of these days, I'm just going to go live and just sit on my
Yeah, I'd make a good wrestling man. They would freak. They would absolutely freak.
Yeah. I think I'm either a little late, have a little latency or something, Jamie, because I think I keep stepping on you, brother. I apologize.
Well, like I said, man, I'm in unfamiliar Wi-Fi territory, so I usually work with a wired connection. So I'm on strange Wi-Fi, so I don't know if the latency may be on my part.
Dude, this is so funny, man. Tin Man has like this direct line to my humor. I don't know what it would be like if we ever actually met in public because it would be ridiculous. Somebody asked about the Mexican wrestlers, and I'm like, "Ooh, Nacho Libre." That's exactly what I'm going to put. And right as I go to text it or tape it or type it, he's already. I don't know what it would be like if we ever actually met in public because it would be ridiculous. Somebody asked. Oh man, the New Jersey Republican, huh, Cranky? That's going to be something. So, Andy, what you been working on, brother? Besides obviously 2 jobs.
Well, one job. I'm an engineer. It's hard to really explain all the things I do. I've been with this company 30 years. I maintain all the machineries. We actually take. How should I put it? We recycle electronic components back into the market. We buy circuit boards from scrap places, pull the parts off the boards, refurbish them, test them, and then resell them. That's one thing we do there. The other thing I do is the company I'm involved with, we also do LED lighting. I've designed many LED lights and stuff over the last about 8 years, 9 years. We sell all kinds of LED products as well. And then at night, I work in a machine shop. So from like 3 o'clock to 7:30.
Sounds busy, brother, but it sounds interesting at least.
Most of the time. Right now, I'm working. Again, I get pushed all over the place at my main job. We're working on a robotic arms that will do a lot of the work that is manually done by people. I'm involved with that project quite heavily at the moment.
I just watched right before I started the stream. I was watching that movie. I don't know if you've seen it, Runaway, with Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yeah.
It's all about robots like taking over and killing people. So it's
Yeah.
kind of ironic. So you've been doing any reloading or any work on the guns lately?
What should I do? My job has wave solder. Actually, no, we don't use wave solder in the process that we do. We use reflow ovens to heat the boards up and take the parts off. We also work on, Kenny would know about this, BGA chips. We actually reball them. We do that for companies. High-end parts. They take them off the boards. They want to use them again. You can't unless you put the balls back on. I developed a process about 12 years ago to do that, so we're very busy with that. Some people need parts that have lead balls changed to lead-free or vice versa. We do a lot of services that way. As far as what I've been reloading and stuff lately, well, the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been rebuilding the old Seiko pot and 2 Lyman 61 pots, which they're the same pots. The reason being is that they are cast iron hoppers in them, and they're bottom pours for purposes for zinc. So I rebuilt one Seiko. That's the one I'm going to keep. And then the 2 Lymans, I redid one. I did it without the thermostat because Willie's going to take that one off my hands. I had a bad thermostat in it. And again, it's not just plugging in and it works. I sanded them all, took them all apart, sanded them all down, painted them. They look like new again. So Willie's taking that one. And the last Lyman pot, I was thinking that Kenny would probably want it, but I fired it up. It all works. So now I'm in the cleanup process and tearing it apart and replacing any wiring and stuff like that. That'll probably be next week sometime when I finish that one. I got them. I won them on bids on eBay. I've been chasing them for over a year, and 3 weeks in a row, there were 3 of them, and I won the bids. And these things were in pretty bad shape when I got them, rusted and whatnot. But they all fired up and work. It's just tweaking them, cleaning them, and making them look new again.
Yeah, doing that kind of work for me is pretty cathartic. I like doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do is small renovation work like that. Working on my car tends to not be my favorite because it's such a big project and it takes a long time to see anything. But with smaller stuff like the Dylan that I bought and other things, I love that, being able to have a turnaround of like 2 or 3 weeks and have something really take something that's kind of crappy and make it into something. And it sounds like you do a lot of that renovation stuff at work too, so it all kind of fits within that that sphere.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. I also have a car. I had 2 cars. I just sold one, but I have a '79 Camaro. Runs in the mid-10s. I built with a friend, and unfortunately he passed away. Never got to enjoy it, but it's been in magazines and various other things. And I have I've sold it. I restored a '67 Mustang. I sold it about 6 months ago. I just couldn't keep up with both cars.
Yeah, I can imagine with 2 jobs, a shooting habit, and and 2 cars. That would be a lot for anybody.
Shooting habit. I'm a little out of control. I'm not shooting as much as I'd like, but I'm reloading a tremendous amount of product.
Reloading more than you're shooting. You're backlogging. That's all.
Yeah, getting ready for the day. When you might need it.
Yeah. I've got a 67 Chevelle. Dad's got a 56 Chevy and a 57. And I've had the Chevelle since I was 15, so I've had it for 25 years or so. And it was when we started, when I was in the service for about 10 years. And when I got out, around the time I got out, we scooped it up from back home and drug it down here and started working on it. It was pretty far gone. I've got all the metal work done, or all the major metal work done, and there's some more to do, but it's just, I haven't touched it in a while. It's just so slow for me to get out there and get on it, but I'm nowhere near as busy as you are, so I shouldn't be complaining.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of time, but the reloading side of it, the wife does it with me. She likes doing it. I probably have close to 10,000 223s loaded. Probably only about 4,000 9mm loaded. About 2,357 loaded, more for target loads, not for defense or anything. And I just keep loading more and more. And now I'm playing with the zinc, so I've been shooting some of the zinc out of my 357, my Dan Wesson, and it's working great. I also had bullet heads Kenny loaded last week on his Legend. So I don't know if he did many more of those, but he had some of those. I have to check the sizing on them. I'm curious. He was telling us the size of the bullet last week, and I know I sized it and went to a 358 die, so I don't know. He was telling me they were measuring like 360, so I got to go back and check them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I got a good kick out of watching you size those zinc bullets with that big long hole. Yeah, that was pretty good. Leverage is your friend.
Well, that's all fixed now. It's the issue seemed to be if I didn't water quench them, they were rather large. Water quenching shrank them a bit, and I haven't made a video since when you saw. I have a new bar. It's about 4 foot long. It does it real easy.
Yeah, it does. Well, it was great to see Willie doing some videos and keeping us informed. Willie, I hope you're feeling good, buddy. And we appreciate the updates on you getting that Hickman put back in. Chico, are you okay, buddy? We ain't heard anything out of you so far.
Yes, sir. How's everyone doing?
Doing real good, brother. Glad to see you.
Good. Yeah, I've been doing well. Friday, glad to be here. Sorry I was a little late. I know I said that.
So before we came up here, Chico, you might be interested in this. This morning I got up and went and got my tires rotated for this trip. The guy that I get my tires from, he's a collector, and he had a 56 Chevrolet sitting in his parking lot last week. And I asked him today, I said, how did that didn't stay long? Were you selling it or are you fixing to fix it up? He said, no, it was an extra one that he had. He said he had like 7 or 8 55, 56s and 57s. He told me exactly how many. He said, but he put that on the internet on Thursday night. And he said Friday morning, the guy bought it, come and got it. Them tri-year Chevys don't last long.
Yeah, no, they don't. I sold my 56 some years back and came out actually a little bit on the positive. I got a pretty good deal on it. And it was pretty rough. I did very little to it, got it rolling and some other stuff and sold it. Really it was a pretty good deal for me.
He said he wasn't. He was selling his place and downsizing because he's getting about my age or maybe a little older, and he has several that he'll be selling. He's got some 54, 55, 56 Chevy pickup trucks. He's got a good bit of stuff.
I've always been partial to 55 myself, but someday.
Mine's the 56, and only because I really like where they put the gas tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been partial to 55, and I like the 56 because I've had one, but I like the 150 trim model better. I don't something about the chrome on the 56 that if it's done perfect, it's great. When it's not, it always kind of like it always bugged me a little bit. Kyle says he wants another link. Let me see if I can get you one, brother. I don't have one texted to you. I'm having to send it the other way. I'm actually having.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Nathan.
So Chico, what all you been up to, brother?
Man, look, this is the season. It is AC season. Y'all know how hot it is. And I've had people nonstop call me about AC and radiators busting. And so when that money calls, that side money, I have to get that money, man. But besides that, I just been working. I ain't even got much of a chance to do any loading, but I'm gonna have to do it because our trip is coming up.
It is, man. Let me ask you this, Chico. You need to be real careful how you answer this question. I can tell already. He was late today because he was picking something up, weren't you?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I had one of my customers come pick up the car, but my mom called me. I had to go change her flat tire, and it was everything. I was like, oh man. I was like, I'll be like 30 minutes late. But yeah. But I did have a busy day. I stopped by the post office and dropped off a heavy package, and the lady was like, damn. She was like, I don't think they're going to take this with all this tape on it. I'm like, yeah, they will. I tape them up all the time because I don't want it to bust. And I was just waiting for her to ask me what was in it, and I was going to tell her gold, or something like that. Crazy. But they took it, so whoever gets this package, I think they'll be able to use it. They should be able to use it.
Well, I sent a box to Willie, and it was one of those very small boxes, the little thin ones that are about like that. That sucker weighed 11 pounds, and on that little bitty box. And that lady picked it up, and I mailed it from down there below my house. The lady who took my order was transferred from somewhere else. And she said, I get these heavy boxes all the time from where I came from. What's in here, bullets? And I thought to myself, lady, you used to work at Kyle's post office, didn't you?
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I don't know what I would say to that. I'd be like, sinkers, lots of sinkers, lots and lots of sinkers.
I said, yeah, they're bullets. I ain't gonna lie to you. But she asked, was there anything hazardous in there? And no, I didn't lie, did I, Andy? They're not dangerous.
Quick, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've got 41. I'm gonna load up some 41 mags, make sure I have plenty of 45 Colt. I'm gonna load up a bunch of 32 mag stuff, I think. Make sure I have some Schmidt-Rubin stuff. I'm gonna take the Schmidt-Rubin out there, Willie, when we go up on the 5th. I'd love to have the Bushmaster figured out and be able to take it, but being that I haven't had a chance to get to the range, it hasn't been proofed. I have no idea what it would do, and I don't want to take something that I don't even know if it's going to cycle. It looks like Kyle should be joining us here shortly. But yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of stuff I'm wanting to take. I'll have a whole daggum Subaru full of stuff if I don't watch myself.
Yeah, I'm trying to weed out some stuff. I'm gonna bring my CZ 9mm. I'm gonna bring my Smith 357 and my that EAA Vindicator 357. Do a lot of load testing while I'm up there. Probably bring my 270 to try out on that long range, but I've not even started with a load, so I'm gonna be kind of dependent on Kyle for my load data for that.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, go ahead, Mills.
I was just going to ask Andy if he ever loads for 270 Winchester.
No, I used to load with 30-30s, but unfortunately, many years ago, I sold that rifle. I kicked myself for doing it. It was a pre-64 Winchester Model 94, so it was made in like 59. So I kicked myself for doing that. But basically, 380, 9mm, 357, 223, and 30-06.
I swear, Kyle.
You shouldn't swear, sir. Yeah, I think I'm planning on taking my Ruger contingent, all my Ruger single actions, the 4570 Mauser, and the Schmidt Rubin. I think that's what I'm going to take. And I may try to see about putting a different scope on that Mauser because that one that's on there is not exactly useful. I may look into making an Amazon purchase. We'll
That would be cool. I'd like to see one of those in real life.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of the idea right now. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna be strapped up looking like I was on you know what though, in Georgia, if I had rifles like strapped to my back and everything else, I think people on my motorcycle would just assume that I was like we were filming Walking Dead. I don't necessarily think they would, but yeah, the police might not be wise to it. They might not be okay with it. Yeah, I was not gonna be on the bike, so I'm gonna be in the Subaru. Or I'm just going to get a rental or something. I don't know. We figured out exactly the details, but
Who knew that, Michael Sines? There's Kyle Lusk.
Where? Hey, what's up, guys?
hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, man, y'all
in the middle of this with a bunch of friends, and we're trying to get a fire going. So you may hear some noise in the background. Hang on mute.
far out. Side chat's blowing slap up. How many of y'all showing we got with us this evening?
Oh, I haven't refreshed mine, so it says 30.
I got 43.
Good deal. Thanks to every one of you. I bet Chico can run down the side chat.
That I can.
Clears his throat.
All right, here we go. Starting from my last refresh, we got Uncle John. The Reloading Press is hosting. The Crazy Scotsman is here. Ocean 374. Jeremy Gunslinger. The Texas Outlaw Michael Sines. Willie Bullet Man. Fork 8. I said Uncle John already. Chris 338. Andy 79Z28 is on the panel with us. We've got Cranky Cletus 10 Man. We also have a lead bullet junkie. We've got James Owens, Vanessa Kitty, Uncle John, Jesse B Outdoors, Uncle Jim, Kyle Lusk just joined us on the panel. The Big Man's Outdoors is here. Let's see who else we got. Got anybody new? Thoughts of an Old Soldier's here. Thank you for showing up. Who else? I know I've seen someone else. Daniel God is my judge. 67 Rebel FST AMC. Loaded Cap Gun is here. And I know every time I do this, I always miss someone. I'm trying to not do that today. Echo in the boat.
Yeah,
Eagle Eye Shooting. I think that is it on my last refresh.
I'm going to cut in. Sorry. Willie, you watching? I'm trying to show you the pot. It's filled with zinc. It's all been repainted, sanded. That's the Lyman pot. Where's the camera? There it is.
Beautiful, Andy. Good work, brother.
Oh, by the way, Willie,
You restored?
it's coming filled with zinc, Willie.
So, Andy, did you restore that pot? You said you got it and you cleaned it up and fixed some things on it?
Yeah, the pot, I took it totally apart. Changed any wires internally that were, cooked per se. Sanded everything down, degreased it, and painted it.
Very cool.
This one doesn't have a thermostat in it. He's going to use directly with the PID. The thermostat is $37. So, it's direct wired now. He'll use his PID to control it.
Very cool.
Yeah, Chico, brother, I don't know if your Bluetooth is actually working or not. Now it seems like it because when you're touching, because you're quiet tonight. I got you turned up as loud as I can. And it's still pretty quiet.
What about now?
Yeah, you're good now.
That's wall to wall.
Yeah, Bluetooth was probably battery dying. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Chris 338 asked about which 41 mag I have. It's a Ruger Blackhawk and 6.5 inch. It is like I hate to say it's my favorite revolver because I love my 45 Colt, but I don't know. It's close, man. It's close. Those two. I love Ruger single actions. It's kind of a thing. But yeah, that's shoots pretty well too.
Okay, my phone won't connect to this Wi-Fi, so I have no idea what's going on in the side chat right now. So y'all have to keep me updated. But yeah, man, I have got to add a single action revolver. Me and Michael Sines were talking earlier in the week, and he sent me some links to some rifles and just made me covetous. And then I got an email or a text from Chico. He's fixing to get his raw C92 and 357. So yeah, it's got my feelings hurt. So I got to get on the stick.
I think you can get you can find some pretty inexpensive single action 357s now. I want to say Heritage makes one.
They do.
I mean, just to kind of get your foot in the door, if that was something you're interested in, that'd probably be a pretty good. Now, what I would like to have in 357, and I don't own any guns like this, but for some reason I always liked it. There was a Ruger Vaquero that was it was a different edition. It was, I don't think it was nickel. It was like high polished stainless, and it had a big fat hammer on it and kind of a slightly different grip. It had some Spanish name to it, and I always thought the thing was really cool. In 357, it would be a neat gun. I think they were like 3.5 inch barrels. I think 3.5.
That would be cool if it had that bird's head stocks on those bird head handles.
Yeah, that's what I have on my 32 mag. I wouldn't want bird's head on anything above a 357, and even on a 357, that might be a little difficult at times. They're not the easiest thing to handle well, but I love them. I love them on my 32 mag. They're great.
So I was really impressed with a couple of Andy's videos, especially the one he did where he was showing how organized his reloading shop is.
Yeah. Compared to my mess, yeah.
Damn,
Making
guys,
a-
I thought it was a good thing by bringing a bunch of good wood. I'm sorry, we're having problems. I'm
like this fire in June.
Hey, Kyle, at my age, any wood is good wood, man.
Look at this. We're having a really hard problem, man. I'm doing the best I can. We're trying to get a fire going so we can cook some dinner. I'm here listening. Everybody else is listening, but they don't want to be on camera, so I'm on my part.
All right, brother. You kind of roboted anyway there.
I'm in the middle of the woods.
Yeah. Technology, right? Dude in the middle of the woods streaming live. That's crazy.
Wasn't there some pieces that
Yeah, there was. Yeah. All right, let me mute me.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting camp set up.
Gotta be
No,
careful
right.
with the Sasquatch. They get you.
I know that's right.
They just put this show on Amazon that I used to watch on YouTube from the History Channel. Why these things are on History has nothing to do with history, but it was called Monster Quest. I love that show. It's like almost every episode's about Bigfoot of some kind or another. Love that show. Gets old after a while though.
I hear you.
Yeah. Chris 338 says he's waiting on a 327 with a bird's head single 7. I like my single 6 and 32 mag. I'm a little leery of the single 7 and 327. It just seems like a lot of pressure for that thin. Because when they punch an extra hole, that cylinder just keeps getting thinner and thinner. But if Ruger makes it, I'm sure it's solid. But
It's either got to get thinner and thinner or bigger around, one or the other.
well,
Hopefully,
if you're sticking with the same size frame for the single 6, then I mean, I guess the single 7 might have a slightly different frame hole. I don't know. I haven't paid enough attention to them. Have you?
it ought to be fairly easy to do.
What else we got here?
Willie, throw some gas on it, Kyle. And poof.
How you doing there, Red Raider Reloading, aka Larry K. Webb? I'm enjoying these names. They're just getting more and more intricate. James Pollard says he's proud of his reload mess. I'm pretty proud of mine. I just feel like it's unfinished. Like I still have a couple things I want to do. I want to build like a shelving unit for my tumbler and my toaster oven, because right now it's kind of sitting on the floor underneath one of my benches. I want to get it up off the floor. I did recently build's a strong word. I cut, stained, and polyed a board to go across the wall that I can mount my presses on using the docking system, instead of them kind of sitting all over the place. I need to buy a couple more docks, but that's been a nice addition. But yeah, it's a slow process, man. Mig, bye. Love my Mig. Hell of a guy. Mig's always treated me so good. I mean,
Yeah,
just a nice guy.
Definitely.
I agree. Totally agree. But we're talking about our reloading messes. Mine's about to start all over. I'm fixing to gut it and then start from scratch. New floors, new paint on the walls, a new reloading bench.
Be careful.
I
It took me,
know.
3 months?
Yeah, and see, it'd take me longer than that because I gotta work for a living like you do, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's what it's all coming from is we've got this old handmade home entertainment center in our bedroom that houses the component stereo and the television sets on the top. Well, it is 5 feet long by 2 feet wide, and it sits about, but somewhere between 30 and 36 inches up off the floor, and it's on rollers. And it's too nice a piece of furniture to scrap. So we're redoing the bedroom right now. So our new bed came today. We've got all the furniture out of the bedroom, both the dresser, the chest of drawers, and all that. So we've been painting, and all I got left on the paint is the trim. And then sometime within the next week or two, they're coming to put the new carpet down. So when we get that entertainment center out for the carpet, it's not going back in our bedroom. So that's going to become a reloading bench. And it's one that's high enough that I can stand up or get a high stool to work on. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Got a ton of storage. Got cabinet doors on one side. Got a big opening, about probably 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet before you put your stereo components. So I'll find something to put in there. Probably that's where the dies will go.
Yeah, it's always cool. That's why I made my bench. A lot of people kind of gave me grief. Not a lot. Some people gave me grief about making my benches too complicated because I wanted one section higher than the other. I like to sit and reload, but I also like the option to be able to stand to do some things. So that's why I built one bench higher so that it's standing height and the rest is sitting height. And it's only like a 4.5, 5 inch difference between the two. But and a lot of that you can make up with risers. But I think it was Vanessa asked about tabletops or for reloading. I'm using a handmade butcher block. You can buy butcher blocks for cheaper than you can make them. Or you can. I had an my older reloading bench, which did great, was 3/4 inch red oak furniture grade plywood with some 2x4 backers underneath, and it was fine. It never went anywhere, did anything. The only thing I did was I put I took a metal plate and drilled holes in that so that I didn't have like crush problems with the plywood, and that thing did great for a long time. So I think it's kind of up to you. I think Kyle's got a metal tabletop.
He has an all steel bench.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm definitely going to put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood on top of it. But other than that, I'm still open for suggestions.
If I was going to go out and buy a bench, if that's what Vanessa's talking about, I'd look at that one that Georgia Boy got. That seemed like a heck of a deal, and it looks like a pretty nice unit.
Yeah.
Or if you can find old console Curtis Mathis TV at an estate sale or something like that, that works really good as well. That's what I was using. But I graduated up to a solid 500-pound steel table that works awesome.
Thrift stores work. I see a lot of stuff at thrift stores. A lot of old entertainment centers that, a lot of stuff. You're talking for $50 and less, which that ain't bad if you going, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Is it bad that we're hotter Hades trying to build a fire?
Yes.
I agree, Chico. I agree. Yeah. What are you doing? Killing bugs. Close the door to your tent. Hang on.
Yeah, Jamie, I don't know what would be best for your situation if you're just going to top it. I mean, I like that 3/4 inch red oak plywood that I got from Lowe's. It was nice. I'll be honest with you, it was really porous, much more porous than I thought. I did like 3 coats of poly on it, and it wasn't enough. I should have scrubbed it down after I did a coat or two. I should have scrubbed it down with some triple aught. I tried to work it down into the pores to plug it up, but I thought it would be fine. But it stained a lot. But I really didn't care too much. It wasn't that, it wasn't pretty. It was functional.
Well, I'm debating on some kind of a metal sheathing on the top, like maybe aluminum or stainless steel, like Tin Man's, or maybe just go with some Formica. I can do that pretty quick and easy.
I think the Formica would be quicker, easier, and
Cheaper.
I would like it better. I think cheaper, and it's I don't know. There's something about a metal table that I don't mind when I'm for a welding table and stuff like that. But for my reloading bench, I like something a little bit softer, and I don't know why. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, Scotsman. If go on his channel and just look for the bench. I think he paid $200 for it at Sam's, and whether you build your own or decide to go with that is irrelevant. It'll give you some really good ideas about. His is adjustable in a lot of different ways, and it's a really good setup for not a whole lot of money. And then you're talking about plug and play, man.
Yeah, I got that woodworkers. Sorry,
Either go hard or go home.
I got that woodworkers bench from Harbor Freight. I don't recommend it. The top is not solid enough to do any kind of real work on. It'll split and bust on you if you're not careful. And it's just it's a cool bench for certain things, but I wouldn't use it as a reloading bench unless I did a heck of a lot of work to make it work. And in which case, I'd go with what Georgia Boy did. What about you, Andy? I think yours is metal, isn't it?
Actually, no. I was trying to look it up here for Kitty. I bought it from Home Depot. It actually, the legs folded up. It's a solid wood bench. It's like got a particle board for the top, but the distance where the beams and stuff were allowed me to put the bolts through the beams. So for the press, so it's a very solid table. I can't find it. It was only $120. I was looking for it online, and I don't see that anymore listed at Home Depot. But that's the bottom half of the bench. The shelves I put on it that are in the video is on. I added them, but I just folded out the legs, locked them in place, basically put screws in to reinforce so they can't fold. And then I just bolted it to the wall, so it's solid as can be. The secondary table I have, where I kind of do all my prep work and stuff, that's made out of a 2x4 frame and 2x6s on the top. That's solid as a rock as well. But she was looking for something said she got to fold up and get it down the stairs. This thing probably weighed close to 180 pounds, is that workbench from Home Depot, but I don't see it online. I was looking for it.
Jerry 1911 talks about the $99 Harbor Freight workbench. If it's the all wood one, that's the one I had. I think it's so hard to tell because everything with Harbor Freight's like $119.99, but I think they make one that's a sit-down workbench, and it looks similar to the ones I've seen in Home Depot and other places like that, kind of a metal workbench. I haven't messed with that, but Fuzz, I don't think it was because I don't think it's because of his youth. I just think he's better at that crap. Like that, and I think he watched mine and saw all the mistakes I made, right? Yeah. Now he threw his up fast, and I'll tell you what, if I ever build another butcher block again, I'm buying it. It is so much cheaper and so much less time consuming. And I made so many mistakes because I was cheap. My screws are too short. Like if I would have had just a half-inch longer screws, that job would have been much faster and much easier. But I had a giant box of screws that I bought, and screws ain't cheap, and they were just like I said, they were really about a 1/4 inch too short for what I really should have had, and I've used the wrong glue, and Jesus, man, I made one mistake after another, but it's solid. It works. It ain't coming apart. Looks good. But Kenny just did his a hell of a lot faster. I remember Kenny asked me, he sent me a text, right? And he's like, hey, what'd you plane your boards to? 1.5 or whatever. And I on your bench. And I was like, hell, I don't remember. And I came back and I told him, and he's like, okay, all right, mine's done. I'm like, you did. Like, he finished that thing so fast. Yeah, bolted to the wall is key for me, man. I probably won't ever have another one that's not bolted to the wall. My sit down wasn't, and it was heavy enough that it didn't necessarily have to be, but if you got on it, it would rock. This thing, it's bolted to the floor and the wall. It doesn't even have back legs, and it ain't going nowhere.
That was a nice job, man. I don't care what you say.
Took too long, and it was raining its butt off the whole time, so the wood kept swelling on me. Yeah, Mig, I hope that things are good at the camp. I hope you don't have any burr trouble or messes to have to clean up that you didn't know were there.
Cow.
Yeah, the cap. Sorry, buddy.
I was just saying coyotes.
Yeah.
Andy, I just put a link for that folding wood bench. I think I've seen that one before. I think I was considering it. Click on that and see if you can click on it. Click on it and see if that's it. Because when you said folding wood bench, that's exactly what I thought you were talking about for Home Depot.
Yeah, that's
Wait a minute.
that's the one. I couldn't find it.
$89,
That's
at least in my area.
Yeah, I mean that's the one I bought, and I'm not even, I don't even see a price on it on the listed here, but yeah, that's the one I bought, and what I did was I put extra screws instead of where the bolt is, where the legs pivot and fold. I put like 4 screws there right through it into the legs. All right, and then I pushed it against the wall. I leveled it, and then on the side of the workbench, on each side, I kind of made like the letter T out of a 2x4. So it goes from the table to the wall, and then I used my nail driver and shot 2 nails in and put it to the wall, and that was it.
Yeah, that thing's at least in my area, it's $89, $89.98. So hopefully Vanessa Kitty, that may be the same price in your area. That's an option.
That's a pretty good price too.
It's heavy. I don't even know if they list the weight on it. It is very heavy.
How you doing there, Charles Irby? Glad to see you. Lead Bullet Junkie. New Texan. We got Tim showing up here. I don't think I saw the Mr. Emperor. Hope you're doing well and you're staying dry, brother. I know you guys have been having some weather out in Missouri.
I got an email today that disaster relief from the Georgia Baptist calling up teams to go to Arkansas to help out, do mud outs.
Yeah, that's
Y'all you ain't lived till you've done a mud out in July.
Boy, I tell you, that's gonna be I can't imagine what the mosquitoes are gonna be like.
There's more than mosquitoes. Snake, fish.
Oh yeah.
Turtle.
Well, with all that water, right, they're more spread out, so the population density of snappers, gators, and or snakes is going to be less, I would think. Hey, Floyd, glad you could stop in.
thing about that, Nathan, is they usually don't live in houses, but when the water gets up in them, they will. So I'm just glad it didn't get
Sorry.
Ozark or the preacher or Tim out there.
If I was talking about bugging out with reloading equipment, I'm a big fan of that Lee hand press for that kind of stuff, for portable loading purposes. I think it's a pretty decent unit for. I know that like Curtis is big into Lee loaders, but I don't want to have to carry one of those. Well, I mean, I guess it's not that big, more big than Dies. But I've always liked that Lee hand press. I always thought that was a pretty good deal. And Lyman used to make a C press that had like hand grip in it, so that you could use it as a hand press as well. Cottonmouth with a bad attitude. Yeah, ain't that some? You all have bad attitudes.
Yeah, I seen some of those at the zoo. I took the kids up to the zoo yesterday. Been a busy week for me, man.
Sounds like it, brother. Been having fun though?
Yeah, I drove a van of 10 kids to the Chattanooga Zoo and back yesterday, and then came up here. But yeah, they had a lot of snakes at the zoo. I was glad they were behind those glass cages. Man, they had some unbelievable snakes. Puff adder from Africa. That sucker's bigger around in your arm, probably as long as a pickup truck with a big old triangle-shaped head on it. Yeah.
All those things belong on a plane, not down here on Earth, right? Snakes are supposed to be on a plane, I think.
Yeah.
I've always had a weird relationship with snakes because when I was little, when I was a kid, I knew my local snakes well enough to be able to see them very quickly. And if it wasn't something that was poisonous or at least aggressive, I just left it be. But now that I'm down here, when you have the different variations of pit vipers, it's too damn hard. The only ones I could tell are like my black racers and stuff like that, and I leave them be. But anything else that comes my path is getting the shovel or whatever I got handy. It's just, and everything's aggressive. Some people tell you that rattlers aren't; they won't chase you, but nah, they're not as bad as a water moccasin, but they ain't far from it. Even though the one's basically a rattlesnake without a rattle. Yeah, ain't a big fan.
Yeah, they're bad news. Cottonmouths and water moccasins ain't no fun. They will. Yeah, they can get aggressive. But I've got a relationship with snakes too. Like you said, leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Everything will be all right. If you look at me cross-eyed, I'm gonna unload on you with a 20 gauge shotgun, buddy.
Yeah, it's weird for me because I don't mind snakes. Like, it's not like it's a rat or something. The only good rat's a dead rat. I'd exterminate every last one of them on the entire planet. I'd eradicate all of them if I had my choice. But snakes, I'm like, yeah, that's okay. You eat rats. You do your job. Right. I guess that's why I said it's a weird relationship because it's like a teamwork, you know? Willie, you hold on to that sucker as long as you can, brother, but when push comes to shove, when need to, we got your back. 357 shot shells. We used to have some of those laying around somewhere. I never tried one. I in like a 38 special or something, maybe a 38 shot shell. I would think that your spread would be about the size of a 4x8 plywood, though, with rifling in the gun. Because I don't like getting.
Yeah, I remember when. Sorry.
No, man, go ahead.
Did y'all see when when Georgia Boy killed that Cottonmouth, one of the Cottonmouth. He had that 22. I think it was a shot shell 22. The one he made the snake band with. That
I
had
think,
yeah.
I think that was a copperhead, but I'm not sure.
I mean copperhead. Yeah, what I say? Cottonmouth. Huh.
Yeah.
Friday.
Cottonmouth's all black. They're all black, and they look a lot like a king snake, except for the king snake will have some gray coloring on him too. But the telltale factor is the shape of the head. If you get close enough to pay any attention to it, but if they got a oval shaped head, they're not poisonous. If they've got a triangular shaped head, they will kill you dead.
Unless they're a king
Yeah,
snake.
That's too close. I don't want to get that close while they still alive. You know?
Yeah, king snake's got that oval shaped noggin.
Yeah, they do.
But
They're good snakes to have around. But the ones that are poisonous are got that diamond shaped head, that triangle shape. That
a coral snake is what I'm thinking, not a king snake. King snake's a good guy. But I see the red next to black of friendage. I ain't got all that, but the coral snake, which looks just like the king snake, is an oval headed, and they're bad too. I think they're one of the only non-pit viper venomous snakes in America. But then again, it's hard to tell now, man, because you got down here in southern Georgia, we don't have the python problem, but it's coming. As much swampy area as we got, and as those things start to spread through Florida, it's only a matter of time. And they're catching them as fast as they can, and they're just getting bigger and bigger, so they're getting older and older. Can you imagine that? Like having to mess around with some pythons and anacondas when you want to go fishing? I'm moving. Going to Michigan. Yeah. Alligators are bad enough. A dinosaur and you are competing for fish. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I used to think that way too, Scotsman. He says the only good snake is a dead snake.
Oh man, I said they take care of vermin. I know we don't have much of a snake population around my neighborhood, because we have a blowing up bunny rabbit population. Past year and a half, our rabbits have quadrupled. They're everywhere. So
I need to go down there and shoot a few of those.
I don't mind them.
And there's Echo and the bunny man. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Hope you're feeling good.
Never. I take that back. I think I ate snake at a cookout one time when I was younger.
I really like gator tail and crawfish. That's good eating.
I'm trying to get Cap Gun to have some crawfish. She ain't done it yet. She doesn't know how to eat them.
Good eating there.
Yeah. One of the two. Ew, that's gross. So is crab, if you think about it. Yeah, New Mexican rattlesnake is good. I think I had snake when I was younger. I just don't remember.
I agree.
Yeah. Water moccasins are a mess, man. I'll tell you, this was a funny snake thing that we had in Delaware. Is we had black snakes that were not poisonous, but when they went into laying season, the females became poisonous. Like, as insane as that is, they obviously were more aggressive, but they actually would poison. They didn't have enough to kill you or anything, but it was a poison, not an infection. It would numb you, and I guess if you got enough of it from a crazy one, it would possibly stop your heart or something. I don't know, Scotsman. I don't know if she'll ever do it. We'll see. Yeah, I know you're a puppy dog and you want attention.
Hey,
I know
so
my
earlier,
wife.
go ahead, Jamie. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was going to. I was just going to say, my wife won't ever be on here. She don't even watch any of my videos or the live stream. She says that we talk a foreign language. She has no idea what we're talking about. I think it's cool what Andy said earlier about him and his wife reload together. That's cool.
She does
That
mo-
is cool. That's pretty cool.
she does most of the decapping and does a lot of the resizing, and she does she runs the powder charges sometimes too.
That's cool, man. Mine's done a little bit of reloading, like once or twice, and she seemed to enjoy it. Too busy to do it now, but
So, I gotta ask Andy. Did I hear you earlier say you made Zinc 357 projectiles?
Correct. Kenny shot him last week in his Legend.
Oh, that was the okay. Interesting.
It's a 195 grain round nose 357 bullet out of a Lyman die, the 2-cavity mold, and they come out. They vary in weight from like 118 to 121. They shoot great out of my 357. I'll tell you that.
which 357 do you shoot? I don't remember. I'm sure I've heard it.
I have a Dan Wesson that I bought in like 1978, roughly. 2 4 6 and 8-inch barrels.
Do you have a barrel that you've grown to prefer over the others, or
I'm not specifically. The 2 inches a little bit much to handle when you got a hot load in it, but the 6 inches what's on it most of the time. That's what I did most of my competition shooting with. But the 8-inch barrel I have a scope or had a scope on it. I sold the scope. I took my third deer with that.
that's cool. Yeah, I would think I have a 4-inch 357. The only 357 I have is a 4-inch, but I've shot a 6.5, and I'm partial to the 4-inch just because of its utility. But maybe a long one would be cool for target shooting sometime. I don't know.
I did a lot of competition when I was young, and I had with 22. I have a Hamley. I think I forget if it's a 208 or 209 model. It's the American model, and I did most of my 22 competition with that. And then the 357 was mostly 38 wad cutters was the competition. And gun is very, very accurate. I mean, of course, you have to be good, but the gun, I mean, we were shooting 300-point matches, and I'm shooting 280, 285. You know, so I'm quite happy with the gun. It's been solid. It's got, I couldn't even tell you how many rounds it's got through it. It's probably got 15, 20,000 rounds through it.
That's a lot. That's a heck of a lot.
But it's mostly lead, so, you know, it's not doing much to the gun, and they're not hot loads, but
Yeah.
it was a fun gun to shoot. I love it.
It's good to get something, you buy something nice like that, and then you enjoy it for 40 years or whatever it's been,
Well,
It's hard to find things like that now.
all my pistols are that old, and my 30-06 is that old. The only thing new that I really have is the Ruger PC, which I shot, but had troubles with the scope. The scope wouldn't adjust, so I'm getting good groups, but they were 6 inches to the right.
I've been really lucky with my fixed sight guns. I haven't got anything that shoots too far off. I was chasing my tail with my 32 mag for the longest time, trying to get it on target. And then what I found out, and this is an oddity, but I found that if I shot the 32 mag first and then went on to my other Plowshare single actions, it wasn't a problem. But if I went from a Plowshare to the Bird's Head single 6, I had point of impact problems. So there's something that with my grip angle that slightly changes when I've been using the Plowshare and then I pick up the single 6 single action with that Bird's Head. That's the only time I've ever had an issue with point of impact. I've been real lucky. Eels are disgusting, Vanessa. And do I have a tail? No, I wish I did though. I have much better balance. Be all nimbly bimbly. Yeah. If I had a tail, I think I would have went out tried to be like a gymnast or something. I don't know where Uncle Jim got that from, but eels are disgusting. That is the only creature that I can think of off the top of my head that actually I don't know, man. Rats disgust me, but eels, God, I used to hate. We had one of the places I used to do a lot of fishing was off of Bridge, and it was brackish, because everything's brackish pretty much. So where I was at, and man, you'd catch a lot of eels, and God, I hated taking them things off the line. So disgusting. Yeah. Yeah.
Are they as slimy as they look?
Yes. They are as slimy as they look. They're just terrible creatures. They're horrible, man.
I had to get my sister and my mom hooked up. They're in there listening to us now, so.
Oh, that's good. I'll be sure to clean it up.
Yeah, you need to. Got me a Coca-Cola. I'm ready. I hope. So Kyle bug out on us?
I think he's out right now, but who knows? That could be connection issues or whatnot.
I really can't believe he made it on at all from where he's at.
Exactly, Daniel. I love John Candy, and I love that role. It was great.
What are we talking about, Uncle Buck?
Talking about Spaceballs with the tail. I don't know how, but Uncle Jim got on there about a tail. Maybe I said something while I was chasing my tail. I don't know. If I paid that much attention to what I said, then I'd probably be a lot more quiet. How you doing today, Robin Dowdy? Shark is good eating. I agree with that. Cletus says they are slimier than they look. And Cletus is from about the same area that I was when I was catching them things. And they are slimy and just nasty.
Yeah, Charles said they're a pain to get off the hook, too. Yeah, shark is not bad eating at all.
Jerry, that's awesome. He just cut his line.
Yeah.
So look, I got another question. I know at least two of y'all can answer this, and I know the Scotsman can answer this. Today on my lunch, I went to the store where my firearm be coming in, and I was looking at their reload and stuff, and it's like they had some stuff. It ebb and flows, and I seen a guy over there looking at the reload and stuff, the brass, the older gentleman. And I was like, see anything good up there? And he was like, oh, so. So anytime I go to a gun store or a range or something, I always take my Reloaders Network card because I figure I might run into somebody with similar interests, right? And before I left the store, I gave him one of the cards. I said, I didn't want to offend him. Like, man, you old as hell, like, I know you got to reload, but let me get this card anyway. But I was like, it's some good information on here, man. And if you look on the back of the card, it's load data. And he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Thanks, man. And shook my hand or whatever. But I was looking for brass for my my new purchase, right? So I was looking for like 357 brass. And I seen they didn't have any, but they had 44 Magnum brass. I was trying to see if this was a good price. I think it was like 100 rounds or 100 cases, like $20 or $22 to use brass.
No, I pick up brass at the range, man. Like, so 44 mag brass, I find it everywhere.
Are you finding 44 mag brass at the range?
Yeah, I gave a bunch of it to Cox. I don't have one anymore. I probably still have a fair bit over there. I think I got a box labeled for it.
Yeah, I really don't buy brass neither. I was just wondering. I just happened to look, and I was just like, because every time I find 38 brass at the range fairly often, but I may find a few pieces of 357 ever so often. You know, I've got ammo too, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to reload for this Rossi, man. I ain't bought no ammo in so long. You gotta know.
Well,
like, I'm gonna have to reload this thing.
You can use 38 special too, man.
Yeah, 38 special. Yeah, I've got a couple boxes of that too. But I just happen to, this is the place where my firearm is coming through, so they don't charge me for FFF. So I always try to at least, shop locally, and the guys know me. But I just happen to be looking. They didn't have a lot of reloading stuff. Like I said, it ebbs and flows every so often. Sometimes they'll have good stuff. Sometimes, like, I do better at Academy.
Where did you buy the Rossi from? Chico?
Kentucky Gun Company. Now, look, I'm going to tell you about that, too. So, you remember when I was on here and I was talking about, was it on here or Uncle Jim's chat? They had it like the cash price or the check price was like $536, right, out the door, chipped and everything. But so when I started to do that to get the cheapest price, they said, they'll hold my check for 2 weeks before they ship the gun. And I was like, no, so if I pay with my credit card or a debit card, they sent it in like 3 days. And it was only $16 higher. So I kind of was like, I was trying to have it before we go to Tennessee. So I just went ahead and paid the check price, the credit price, which it was $551. It was $16 higher, and I was like, all right, you gonna hold my check for 14 days before you even ship it? And it was like, yep. And I was like, nah, I'll pay with a credit card. I'll take that little extra 3%. Because if I spend my money, I don't want to wait 2 weeks that you done had my money before you ship me something. It's just how I am. If I give you money, I want something back right now, really, to tell you the truth. Kentucky Gun Company, yeah.
You're killing me.
I'm looking at their Steel Henrys and 41 mag. $680.
Pricey. How much?
$680.
I was having a debate earlier this week that maybe you can help me out with, Nathan. How do you feel about the accuracy of a Henry?
Accuracy's fine. It's all the other nonsense that pisses me off.
Well,
it's the feeding problems that bug me. Accuracy's great. My 45 Colt Henry is pretty doggone accurate. I say that, but I mean it's accurate enough for me, right? If I have a lever gun that open sight, I shoot 2.5 at 100 yards, I'm okay with that. With lead, some people aren't. For me, that's acceptable. And I haven't tried any of the steel ones, but that feeding issue, man, that's just such a pisser. And it's not just the 45 Colt that's like that. It's the way that they have that thing designed. They have a very short loading gate area, so that it'll hit the nose of the bullet if it's any kind of longer than Sammy spec. And I don't know, maybe the new ones with the side gate will be better. I don't know.
Hey man, Pop's ready for bed, so I'm fixing to have to vacate his bedroom. So give me just a minute. I'll be back in just a minute.
Yes, sir. Oh, hold on. Let me get back over here so I can. Chico, I was looking to see how much 357 mag brass I have, and it ain't much, man. I was like, maybe I got a bag I can send him. I'm running way low myself.
You said 7 mag?
350, yeah. Because are you in your Rossi gonna be 357?
Oh yeah, no. I you know what I thought? Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you was for some reason. I'm thinking 7mm. I was say I seen that at the shop too. They had a couple big bags of 7mm brass, and I was like, oh, that is. I don't even want to go there. I don't even know how much it was. I wasn't interested in it, but no, I can get some, brother. I got a lot of my buddies shoot 357. You know, as their everyday carry, just something it might be a Lama thing. I don't know. I always tell all my buddies, hey, just next time you go to the range, if you shooting that revolver, just turn that revolver, just dump it in your bag, and whenever you see me, I'll throw you something else. So.
Yeah.
Hey, and I seen the crazy thing, and I looked on Rossi's site, man. Last year and the year before, I was looking at them Rossi lever guns in 357-38, and the price was like $425, $450, and because they discontinued that model, as y'all know, what happens when they discontinue stuff, the price shoots up. So it was crazy because I seen like a 45 long coat I could have got cheaper, or a 44 Magnum I could have got cheaper, but I was like, I don't want to, I like the versatility of that 38. I can use it in a 357, and I got a 357 Rossi over here. What is that? It's a what did I tell you? It was a 660 or something that I'm holding for a while. I still got it, Nathan, my brother's.
Yeah.
So I like that I can use that in the rifle and the pistol, but yeah, I just had to have it, man. I was itching. Georgia boy bought them all, so I was tracking one down.
Yeah, sometimes you get that itch, man, because you work hard, buy yourself something nice.
He hit me up one time and told me about one, and I moved my feet a little bit too slow, and he was like, Chico, all the Rossis are mine. I was like, I'm gonna have to get one. I'm gonna have to get one now to show him. I gotta get at least one. So
nice.
I mean, I'm pretty excited about it though. And this shoot, man, I'm gonna take it there. So
yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
No, I said Andy and Jamie's still here. Jamie had to step away, right?
Yeah. Jamie just stepped away for a minute. He'll be right back after these messages. Yeah, I'm really like this 41 mag, and I don't know whether it's just because I like to be weird or because Jamie and Tim sent me molds, or because I just really like the round. But there's not a lot of lever gun options for the 41 mag, but it's one that I would love to have. And getting a Marlin in it would be nice. But I don't know. I might have to. And I know this sounds crazy. Settle for getting a Henry someday. Be honest. I know this sounds crazy. I would trade my big boy on a Henry 41 mag, and that's strange for me because I bought that Henry as a graduation gift to myself when I got done with college. That's interesting.
Yeah, talk about gifts. That's like the only time I buy myself stuff. It's got to be something that I either been busting my butt on, and this week I've had 4 cars back to back nonstop. With big work. You talking evaporator cores, tune-ups, and stuff like that. So I made a good little amount of little change, and I was like, you know what? Happy Father's Day, Chico. Happy Father's Day to myself. So I think you gotta treat yourself. I don't treat myself enough, so I kind of just had to do it.
Michael, if that's right, and Winchester is still making I'm gonna guess and say a 92 in 41 mag, I would be in. That would be like a grail right now for me. But New Texican may be the guy that I end up talking to. Never trade or sell firearms. Buddy, I'll be honest with you, Willie. I have traded a fair amount of guns in, and I don't. There's not one of them that I can think of that I regret trading or getting rid of, because what I get in return is always a refinement of what I actually would prefer to have. I remember I bought a here's a two gun into one kind of thing. I bought a 30 carbine from a guy. No, I bought a 30 carbine from a pawn shop down here, and it was a universal, and I didn't quite like it. And it's not that I don't like the 30 carbine, I really do, but I like the GI. I like my dad's Winchester, and I like the GI models, and the universal is a aftermarket ripoff to some degree. And I didn't quite like it. And I also bought a Beretta Neos off of a guy I got a pretty good deal on it. And I didn't quite like it either. And I traded both of them off and got a Ruger 2245. I don't regret that at all. And there's been other trades I've made like that. I've made a fair amount of trades, and I always feel like I came out better. Got rid of guns I didn't like as much and got ones I really loved. And right now I'm kind of on the outs with that 45 Colt because of the feeding issues, the barrel clocking. Scotty, I'm perusing. I'm not looking, man. I've got my first purchase right now. My first priority for money is going to be on getting another vehicle that I can do more, that'll run and it'll be decent instead of the BMW. Getting rid of it and getting another vehicle is my first priority. So no gun, no. Yeah, New Texican, I agree with you, man. Dirty Harry did put a working on it. That and some silly ass loading that they did. It's funny how they do stuff like that. They uploaded a lot of their sporting models in smaller guns, and then they downloaded the police type offering. So it wasn't as good as what they wanted for the police, and then it was probably too hot to shoot well for sporting, and it fell out of favor before it really even got off the ground. And I think that did a lot to kill it too. But if you load some hot rounds in a bigger gun, those things are amazing. Hanito was in the house and I missed him. Sorry, brother. Have a good night.
Andy, I'm sorry.
No, go
Andy,
ahead.
do you own any lever guns?
Not anymore. I was toying with buying a 357, but I don't know. I mean, I don't shoot everything I have now enough, so it's like get another gun, then they all don't get shot enough.
Ain't that the truth? Uncle Jim asked, or says he always wanted a 41 mag Red Hawk. That's one I do kick myself in the butt for. I went into the gun shop looking for a 45 Colt, and I was really being very single-minded. And Danny, the guy that I used to work with, that was the dealer that I worked with a lot. He was talking with me, and he's like, "Hey man, this just came in the door, and it was a 7.5-inch Red Hawk in the old yellow cardboard box, barely been shot, in 41 mag." I'm like, "Wow, that's really, really nice. So let's talk about 45 Colts." And I kicked myself for that because I love my 45 Colt that I bought that day. But man, that was a brand spanking new, or just about brand new, full size Red Hawk, old one in 7.5 inch in the box.
Yeah.
Dumb move, but I didn't have the money to buy both, and I had my mindset. If I was thinking clear, I would have got that 41 mag, because I've always liked them, and I've always loved the big Red Hawk. My dad's got a 44 mag Red Hawk, and I shoot that thing great. Someday I might try to. He didn't seem willing to want to sell it though. Like I've tried a little bit, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That sounds
There's
like
OP.
when I walked into that pawn shop and I snoozed on that Ruger 1911 and that Smith and Wesson Model 10 the same day, and I was like, I walked back in there. It was the next day, and the dude went up like $50. I was like, nah, what he said? He tried to go up $100, and I was like, nah, man. But he seen me checking it. You know, Uncle Jim did that video, the Chico check, and he was, you know, because for both of them, he told me about the 1911 in Ruger, where the check at, and that Smith and Wesson revolver. And when I went in there, the Smith and Wesson revolver was gone, and the Ruger, the guy was like, "Nah, I didn't tell you 350." I was like, "Yeah, you did. I want it today." He was like, "Nah, I ain't tell you that." I was like, snooze on him sometimes.
That was a great video that Uncle Jim did, or he did two of them. He did one that was like shorter than one that was longer. I think I don't remember, but that was a great video on how to check a revolver. A used
the
revolver.
first one I enjoyed because he said, "Chico, after you watch this video, comment," and I erased it. And I wasn't gonna comment because I was like, "This is a great video." And I was late that night. I was like, "Thanks." The next morning, I woke up, it was gone. I was like, "Oh man!" But he remade it. That was a good video, though. Yeah. Push off. In shape.
650 to trade. You trading your 650 in, Chico? I think Curtis is trading you your Dylan for something. I guess I don't know.
He said he'll give me his Rossi for my Dylan.
Nice.
I told him he didn't need a 650. He'll be talking to it like I do to mine.
Well, he's got like 3 or 4 different models of 550 or 500 AT, or I think he's even got a 450 or 2. I've got my one lone blue press, and I love just looking at it. I know that's ridiculous, but I do. I want to try to get a different powder dye. This one was for the 450. It said it was for the 450 specifically, and I think what it is, it's got a smaller diameter input for the manual powder throw. And I think I thought it was different, so I might try to see about getting a newer 550 BL powder through dye. I don't know. We'll see.
You know, I looked on Dylan's site yesterday and I didn't see any parts available for that 450. Do the same parts for the 550 compatible?
In some cases, yeah. Some things aren't. It's not that they're not compatible. It's that some things are different. Like the carousel's different. There's a couple other things that are slightly different. But it's all there. They have everything that's available and or will fit. It's just kind of hard to find. But I've got everything now. I've even got my terrible primer cup. I'm gonna probably get an upgrade, little plastic dooth flingy from eBay or something, so my primers don't end up all on the floor. Right now, I'm actually waiting on getting cartridge conversion kits for it. I almost had one on eBay for $30, but somebody zoomed me.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You'll find them. Keep at that and the marketplace. Remember that.
Yeah. Well, marketplace ain't great down here for reloading stuff. I think it's a little bit better where you're at. But I do look. I actually look at Ackworth is my other. I go here, Orlando, and Ackworth are the 3 that I usually search on marketplace. I don't even bother with Craigslist anymore. I don't even remember the last time I was on that.
Oh yeah, me neither. Yeah. Well, if you find something up here, text me, call me or something, and then if I need to go get it, we'll do that.
All right. Much love.
No problem, brother. That's what we do.
Oh man, a Big Mac. Dude, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner tonight. I know I'm telling on myself, but that's ridiculous. A carousel ride, Uncle Jim on one of those horses. I'd pay to see that. With his mullet blowing in the wind and his little Fu Manchu kind of going and a margarita in his hand. I'm in. Uncle Jim live chat, live on a carousel. Where we at? Oh, good grief, guys! It's almost time. I want to start doing our salutations and whatnot.
That
No, man, I was late.
sure. I'll start.
We're going.
Oh, go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're going for at least 15 more minutes. Everybody was late getting on here, so we got to catch up. I'm sorry, I'm kidding around, but I kind of do want a single action revolver. I think we've talked about it before, and Nathan recommended the Black Hawk.
Yep. Can't go wrong, man.
And I've been listening. I've been moving around. A lot of stuff going on in here tonight. I missed my reloading room. But it'll be there when I get back. We got a lot of stuff going on at home too, though. So I really missed the Rigby tonight. So
Yeah.
first Friday night.
Rigby show.
I know it, right? It's they're going to kick us to the curb, and Carter and Rigby going to have their own show on here.
They'll do reviews on M&Ms and other stuff. So all kind of shit.
Rigby will do a review on chicken nuggets.
Right.
That's important stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, believe it or not, man, those candy and food YouTubers, they do extremely well.
They do.
Yeah. The kid reviewing toys thing, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to 67 Rebel. He said NOE's got a mold sale this week. I guess this weekend today. I'm gonna check it out before anybody buys anything. I shouldn't have said that.
He sent out an email, so if you're on the email list, you got it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy any more aluminum molds. Everything I'm going to do now is going to be steel, so I can cast with zinc if I want to.
Smart move.
Brass work for that, Andy? Do you know?
I'm sorry, what?
How's brass work for that? Does brass work at all for it?
I don't think brass would work. It's too soft. I think you'll damage the mold.
I figured it was more of a temperature issue than the actual softness, because the way that aluminum conducts heat.
Well, I casted some on Willie's pot, testing Willie's pot out. I took out my what are they? The 170 grain for 30 caliber 308. And it's an aluminum mold. It's only a 2-cavity. It's used. And I heated that sucker up, and I poured my zinc right into it, and it cut the screws no problem whatsoever. But you're really getting that mold really too hot.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's the same thing with copper. It's really got to be hot, and I think over time you'll damage that as well. You really got to go with the steel.
Rebel, that's going to depend on what size you want, brother. Sorry.
I was just going to say the same thing. MCK sent me some, I think they were 137 grain HTC straight wall bullets. And I've got those loaded up, and I'm hoping to test them this weekend up here. But
yeah, that sounds like a
I've
good.
got one. sorry, I've got one too. This is a 135 grain HTC NOE mode. I gotta shoot it. I haven't shot it yet. I've been busy.
Yeah, I want
Hey,
to
Sorry,
yeah.
Nathan.
PC molds one day.
Oh, you know
Say
what?
that
One
again.
question about the zinc to Andy. So if you're casting zinc in a steel mode, you can't ever reuse that mode for lead. Is that correct?
No, you can cast anything you want in it. It's the zinc doesn't coat the mold. Okay, the mold's
It-
the steel. You know, it's
It just destroys the aluminum.
yeah. What it does is you'll start rounding the base of the bullet. So that's where the problem starts at the base of the bullet. From whacking it, it starts making it takes it out of round.
Gotcha. I see. I can understand that. Yeah.
And there's also a possibility of eventual burnout of an aluminum mold because of that temp. That you'll start softening the edges of your driving bands, which will make it harder to be able to eject the bullet from the mold, and eventually kind of burn it out. That's why I was wondering about the brass, is because I think it would be better for that, but you'd probably still run into the exact same thing of basically loosening up the threads of the bolt that holds on the sprue plate is what you're running into. Yeah, that would probably happen as well. So, and then the steel molds work, and I love the steel molds. They just they run away from heat on you if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's a new Texican. You asked a question about percentage of weight using zinc. If your bullet, whatever your bullet's supposed to weigh in lead, multiply it times 0.6, and you'll get pretty close to the bullet weight of your zinc. 0.6. So it's like my 195 grain bullet comes out at it varies from 118 to 121. So if you just multiply your weight times 0.6.
That's some good information right there.
Word.
So we passed this one place on the way up here. Was replying to Scotsman. It was like there was a sign on the side of the road. Caution, artillery shells are in use. Enter at your own risk. And I'm like, only in Tennessee, bro. I thought that was pretty cool. Scotsman said when he was up here, he saw a couple of snakes and was going to pull his 357, but there was too many people around. So, Chico, do you have any 358 type bullet molds yet?
Not a one. And the last one I bought, this NOE, is I think it's 356, 357. So I wish I would have been thinking about it in the past, and then I assume I could have bought a 358 mold and sized it down even for my 9mm.
Right, or you can just not size the 9mm or put an extra layer of powder coat, either one. But what you want to stay away from is a very light bullet with a high powder charge on a 357, because you'll burn the frame right above the cylinder, right above the barrel where it goes off. Right, Nathan?
You can. Eventually, I know Blackhawks, older Blackhawks specifically. I don't know if the metallurgy's changed, but I know older Blackhawks, one of the things you check is right in front of the barrel, right there at the top strap. Sometimes there'll be gas cut. And some of them are notched from the factory, so it'll look like it's been gas cut, but it's actually not been. So, but yeah, you can get light bullets. Heavy. The 357 maximums are the worst for it. But yeah, so you have like a heavy 110 load with a light bullet. one, it makes an ungodly amount of racket, and two, you have that possibility of gas cutting the frame a bit.
And that is basically on revolvers, right?
Yeah, but if it's doing that on a revolver, it's not exactly a good idea to do it in anything else because you'll erode the throat.
Right. Yeah. No.
Often.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's going to eat your rifling away. It's better to have it doing it on a revolver so you can see it and know to stop it. Whether in that rifle, you won't be able to see it at all.
It'd have to be a hell of a load, though. Really, I mean, to be perfectly honest, you look at the 357 Maximums, which are 357 barrel that's been deep bored, right, for handy rifles or Thompsons, and they're shooting on much higher pressures, and they don't seem to have that much trouble. So I wouldn't worry too much about it as long as you're not under 120 grains. You're probably not going to have any kind of issue, I would think. But that's just my experience. I mean, your mileage may differ.
Gotcha. Good to know. I know. Well, the first thing I'm gonna be shooting out this thing is all gonna be factory, but factory is not optimal always. We know that. Just take a look at my chrono. But yeah, for the first, I got some nasty 357 self-defense rounds, but I'm gonna have to go buy some Lincoln rounds for that 357 because I don't want to shoot those self-defense ones out of that just to be shooting.
Yeah, I mean, you would still don't put them in the attic and never use them. I would check them out to see if they actually do anything, like how they print and everything else. Because if you do want to use them for something, you want to know that they shoot the same place. But and if you're not going to use them for anything, then it's like just shoot them up and use the brass. I do that. I'm bad about that. It's like I'll put something in the box. It's like, oh, these are for hunting. The gun's never going to go hunting.
You pull them out 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Thanks for that. What I missed?
Oh man.
Cranky's post.
Oh, brother, I think you need some of those AMP energy drinks. I think that'll help too.
Red Bull and Tito's.
Ooh, boy. Ooh. Got to go work out outside, like in a public park. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
you
Jerry.
put on one of those yellow vests.
Yeah. Mm.
Jerry, that 124 Lee mold that Chico's talking about comes in a Tumbaloo brown nose and a truncated cone. But the cool thing about Lee is you can go on their website and look at all their mold designs. But yeah, I was just kidding about us going over, guys. If y'all about ready to wrap everything up.
All right. Well,
Y'all are.
go ahead, Chico.
Sure. Hey, side chat. Thanks for being here before me. I had some arrangements to take care of with some customers, but thanks for being here like y'all always are. And all the commenting in the side chat, I definitely appreciate it. And I want to thank Andy, 79Z28, for being our guest, answering these questions, especially, I have these rookie questions about different stuff, so I definitely appreciate it. Thanks to my brothers on the panel, JH586, and the Reloading Press, and Kyle Luss, who's no longer here with us. So, thanks, guys. That's it for me. Stay tuned. I got some videos coming up.
That sounded kind of bad, Chico.
Oh,
Kyle is no longer with.
I'm sorry, he's not on the panel with us. He fell off. He's in the woods making fire. I heard that Hangouts is going away. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, I've heard it. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. That's it. Thanks. Dirty South out.
Well, Andy, I want to thank you for being with us, brother. It was a pleasure to have you. Hope everybody enjoyed having you on with us. I'm kind of like Nathan. I believe Hangouts is going away when I see them gone, or get an email from them telling me that. I know on the business side they're replacing it with an app called Meeting, which will basically function the same way. But you're looking at Google, who owns Hangouts, YouTube, Google, and all that. If they do away with Hangouts, they'll replace it with something else that's very similar. They'll just change the name to confuse us. And thanks again to the side chat. Like Chico said, you guys are always great, and thank you for coming out. Y'all always amaze us, and been a little hectic for our usual Friday night, but I'm glad to be here. Glad we could be there. So, Andy, thanks, brother. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys inviting me. I, love being on these chats. I'm always on the side chat, but it was great being on and being able to answer some questions to help some other brothers out. And good deal. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, sir. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll figure something out. We'll do something again here in the future. But guys, I appreciate everybody in the side chat hanging with me for that 15 minutes or whatever. I was by myself and kind of asking me questions and keeping things going. Appalachian Reloader. Good night. Glad you could stop in. We've had quite a few people on tonight. I know it's on my channel, so it was a little bit of a different animal than what it's been lately with being on Jamie's. But I appreciate everybody hopping on and had a good time. I'm looking forward to the shooting event thing on July 4th weekend. I can't wait to hang out with everybody and have some fun. And I look forward to meeting you guys that are going to be there. And we'll see what we can do as far as live streaming or whatever, because that's going to be on a Friday, I think. So we'll figure that out and we'll let you guys know what's going on. But next week we'll be on Jamie's channel, I believe. At least that's the plan. So guys, have a good night. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you next week or sooner in Chico's case. Night.
Night.